What's going on, everyone? It's your host, Mike Patton, touring the AFC South. Another episode. This one's going to be pretty short because we're keeping on one topic, and it's definitely an important topic, especially for Indianapolis Colts fans. Anthony Richardson, yes, the former top 5 pick from a few years ago, is injured again. Yes, Anthony Richardson will be out for minicamp with a shoulder injury. Basically, they're not. I guess they're taking their precautions, but he basically has got a shoulder injury, and he will be out for minicamp, which means Daniel Jones will be getting more reps. Now, I know. Some will say this isn't a big deal. It's not the season. It's precautionary. All those different things. But for Anthony Richardson, it's something different. I mean, honestly, he's played 15 of a possible 34 games due to injuries or being benched. You remember last year he tapped out and then he ended up getting benched for Joe Flacco. I know you all remember that one. But yeah. So he needs all the time he can get to get those reps, to get that experience, to continue to try to grow, mature, and evolve as a starting quarterback in the NFL, because that's what he fashions himself to be and want to strive to be as well. He's definitely got the talent and the abilities. It's just a matter of, can he make it happen on the court, on the field consistently? As of right now, he hasn't been on the field consistently enough to make it happen. It is what it is. Now, I will say, of course, it's definitely not a good thing as well for him, because his career passing mark right now, 50.6%. It's pretty doggone bad. I mean, you're completing half your passes. It's not good, and that's not going to cut it in the NFL. Now, I will say all of the things aren't on him at all times, but still, that's incredibly low. So, like I mentioned previously, Anthony Richardson out means Daniel Jones gets more reps. For those who don't remember, Daniel Jones signed a pretty lucrative one-year deal to compete with Anthony Richardson for the starting job this season, because the Colts said they were bringing in competition for Anthony Richardson and not just giving him the job in his third year. Now, to the level of competition, that's a whole nother question for a whole nother day, but still, they brought in competition like they said they were. You just take it however you however you think you should or would or whatever with that situation. But so Jones is going to get all the reps, the first team in minicamp, and that's going to help him, of course. Yeah, it's gonna definitely help him try to, I guess, kind of initiate himself to this team, because, of course, he has the opportunity to assume leadership with the Colts in terms of the minicamp, because he'll be basically the biggest voice in the room on the field throwing the football. So that part is true. And now, can he do that? That's going to be a question. And also, he's had his own struggles as well. I mean, people forget, for the last 5 years, since 2022, his completion percentage has continued to go down every single year. So it isn't like he's coming in becoming, some savior or quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts if Anthony Richardson is not able to play. He's got his own issues to work out. And, he also is a guy he just had a couple injuries as well during his career too. So, there's just a few things that, he's trying to overcome as well. So, while we're talking about Anthony Richardson and trying to earn the starting job, it isn't like Daniel Jones is going to come in and swoop and save the day, unless he becomes a different Daniel Jones than what we're accustomed to seeing over his career. Now, if he does become a better Daniel Jones and, steps in and does his thing, that puts a lot more pressure on Anthony Richardson. But yeah, let me go back with one thing about Anthony Richardson. I did not mention in regards to his injury. it's the same shoulder he had surgery on in 2023 when he was running and took basically took a hit and fell on that shoulder, knocking him out for the rest of the season. So it's very key that it's the AC joint in that same shoulder. And I've got to think, if it's aggravated now, what's going to happen when he takes a hit in the game? I mean, it's obviously not going to get better when taking hits. That's just going to aggravate it more. So the question remains is, can he make it through a full season? If he is named the starter, that's a question that we don't know the answer to, because of course we haven't seen it, but still we don't know the answer to that question. Something we'll have to wait and see if he actually is able to do that or not. If he is, hey, more power to him. He's able to do it. If he isn't, then the Colts got a lot more questions. I mean, I know Daniel Jones is there, but he's only signed a 1-year deal. He'd be a free agent next offseason unless they extend him during the season because they like what they see. But the likelihood is 2026, if neither one of these quarterbacks work out, the Colts will be having a young gun at the quarterback position. Now, the funny thing about it, I'm just throwing this out there, not saying it's going to happen. Funny thing is, what if Arch Manning ends up falling to the Colts, or it looks like those two could line up? Wouldn't it be crazy if Arch Manning was the next great quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts after his uncle, Peyton Manning, led that team for years and took them to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl for the Indianapolis Colts? Now, that would be one heck of a story, and I'm pretty sure everyone in Indianapolis would eat that story up. But yeah, of course, we got a long way to go before that happens. But like I mentioned, Anthony Richardson out for minicamp coming up, shoulder injury, AC joint, same injury, same shoulder that he had surgery on in 2023. I hate to hear this for the young man. I'm hoping he does well. I'm hoping he's able to get on the field and truly show what he can do. But right now, he's not able to shake the injury bug. And also, he's not able to show that he's, making progress to become, the quarterback that some think he can be. So, again, I wish him well. But now Daniel Jones has a chance to step in there and show that he is learning the offense or has learned the offense, show that he can make the different throws. Because for those that don't remember, when he was a member of the Giants, it wasn't necessarily like he was throwing it all over the yard. No. He was probably dinking and dunking and throwing it to Saquon. And, maybe every now and again he may let one air it out, but that wasn't very often enough to even consider him being an interesting quarterback and throwing it that deep on the field. So, again, it's Jones versus Richardson. And right now, Jones is getting a chance to step in the front due to the shoulder injury from Anthony Richardson. We'll see how it unfolds. We'll see if Anthony Richardson's shoulder gets better. We'll see if it does not. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens as things go on during this off season. Thank you all again for tuning in. Like I said, a little bit shorter episode, just a little clip. We had one big topic to talk about, and that was Mr. Anthony Richardson and this injury keeping him out of minicamp. I am your host, Mike Patton. Of course, you can find Touring the AFC South on all listening platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we are there. Of course, you can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter at Mike Patton 82. That's MikePatton 82. And you can find me on Instagram and Threads at that's THA, not THE _general_MP. Again, Thank you all for tuning in. Share, subscribe, do all the different things. Of course, we're on YouTube at the Mike Pat Network. You're probably, if you're seeing this, hey, you're seeing me there. So thank you again for tuning in to this episode of Touring the AFC South, an abbreviated episode, but still an episode nonetheless. Thank you all. And next time, tune in. We may have a few special guests. See ya.